Hey everybody, how's everybody's Friday going? I hope it's going well. Hope you're gonna have a great weekend. I don't think I'm having a pretty chill weekend, which is good because next weekend is gonna be all out. But today, I was going through some videos and just stuff like that on like YouTube and whatnot, and today I'm going to speak about one of my favorite wrestling feuds. Very seldom get into as much wrestling stuff as I'm surprised I don't get into. Yeah, for this being me, I don't really talk about wrestling as much on here as I thought it would. That might change soon, but let's go ahead and start with one of my favorite wrestling feuds. I have many, but this one is about in particular the Undertaker versus Edge. Why this particular feud? Reason number one, I am a huge fan of both guys. Since I was a kid, I was a huge Undertaker fan because when I was a kid, quite frankly, the Undertaker scared me half to death. I think I mentioned that before on here. And my sister could do the eye rolling thing really well, and she wouldn't say anything for consecutive minute when I asked her. And as a 4-year-old kid, when your sister can roll her eyes in the back of her head and just stare and not say nothing, tends to freak a kid out. At least it did me. I was a very sensitive child. Anyway, don't judge me. I'm kidding. Undertaker vs Edge. Sorry. This feud I thought the feud was really cool because you had Edge in his full scale, just ultra bad guy mode that he was in. He was, with Vicky Guerrero, he had, the edge heads of Hawkins and Ryder. He, had Chavo Guerrero on the side and everything. And that was just, I think one of Edge's best moments. And, of course, The Undertaker is always going to be The Undertaker. It's very hard to point out when The Undertaker doesn't have one of his best moments. So, yeah, the feud, because I'm sure, if I remember correctly, it really started at WrestleMania 24 when it was Edge versus The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight title. Edge was the champion going in, and and the whole thing with that match in particular was, it was the title versus the streak, which pretty much every match with The Undertaker after 17, or was what every single match was about. No, I'll say 20. After 20, every single match was about defeating The Undertaker to stop his streak. But, yeah, I thought the feud was just really cool because as good as The Undertaker is, I think Edge forced him to, kick it up a notch and vice versa. Because one of my favorite points about the entire feud was the TLC match they had at Extreme Rules, which I think was just a amazing match. You had The Undertaker, who was essentially for one of the few times I can ever remember out of his element, because he's only been in one other ladder match besides that, and that was with Jeff Hardy. And which side note for that match, every time I watch The Undertaker Jeff Hardy ladder match, I know the ending. I've watched the match a million times, and I still pull for Jeff Hardy to win that match every time I see that ladder match. It was just a very, 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 very well done match. But Undertaker and Edge, I think they just went above and beyond the Call of Duty for their feud, and I think it was just a really done feud. I especially loved how it ended. SummerSlam Hell in a Cell. It was 2008. Yeah, 2008. Because, quite frankly, that was one of my most favorite Hell in a Cell matches of all time. And I consider myself a Hell in a Cell match connoisseur up until it became a pay-per-view typical match, and then I kind of lost interest in it after that. But up until that one, I am a huge fan of Hell in a Cell matches, and I thought that match was one of the best ones, And and a lot of people complain about it because there was no blood, there was no, there was no blading in that match. There was no bleeding a lot, but if you look at the brutality, just the sheer brutality of that Hell in a Cell match, blood would have just been having icing on the cake. We had our cake for that match. We had our cake and we got to eat it too, but blood would have just been the icing. But that match was just phenomenal from top to bottom. You had Edge being the psychotic weirdo who wasn't afraid of the Undertaker like so many other people in the past who go into Hell in a Cell to face Undertaker. You know, were kind of scared of him. You know, knowing this was his, you know, arena area expertise. But you know, you had Edge going in. Even before then, he had attacked Mick Foley, was saying I understand, had this like was getting into his own demonic type mindset for that match, and it was just and the ending of that match was also brilliantly done, because if you ever see the match, you should. It's on quite a few DVDs. I know for a fact it's on this one since I own it. Edge Decade of Decadence. That it's definitely on this DVD set. But it had to do with like Undertaker pretty much getting revenge on Edge for everything Edge had done to him over the past year, from Survivor Series the year before all the way through to their TLC match at Extreme Rules, where he retired the Undertaker before all that stuff with Vicky happened. She brought him back and they faced each other at Hell in a Cell. But Undertaker vs. Edge, I just thought was a great feud. I just thought it was really, really, awesome, way for both men to just, pretty much have a knockdown drag out, which I'm sad to say, you don't really get to see in WWE too much anymore. Closest you probably get to see was the most recent Monday Night Raw with Punk and Cena for the #1 contendership for the WWE title at WrestleMania, which that was a knockdown drag out fight, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Undertaker vs. Edge, great feud. I'm probably gonna watch a match from that tonight. I haven't decided if it's the TLC or the Hell in a Cell match. It might be both. Heck, I might already watch the WrestleMania match. I might watch all three tonight. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, that's just my random thought of the day. Favorite feud. So whoever's watching this, what about you guys? What's your favorite wrestling feud? Leave me your response. Give me a comment, shoot me a video. Make a video response. That'd be awesome. I'll probably, man, I am so sorry. Be making another video soon, talking about other wrestling feuds, other stuff. Like I said, I'm really working this thing out, really, really getting into doing this. And while I have everybody's attention, I'll make another video separate for this. But since I'm already thinking about it, Ray Rowe, Samantha Rowe, you guys are awesome. # leave Samantha alone. See you guys later. Take care. Peace.